in your vision catches a scent on the air.
Probably Virgil, am I right?
Hey,
As you begin to turn around, what is your passive perception? 21. On the ground as you step, you notice like your boot position shifts ever so slightly. You kind of dig your heel in. You see that you've stepped on what looks like a scrawl of some kind, a torn piece of paper. There's writing on it that's in common, at least from what you can tell from under the mud smears, but it's dilapidated. The full message wouldn't be there. At a quick glance, do you want to grab it or do you want to just quick glance? Because I can do one of the both. If you're going to grab it, I'll get you to make a stealth check. Okay.
What's going to happen, right? It's not like that thing's not rolling to you.
Let's see. Okay. Okay, excellent. You do not seem, you take a moment where it's in between tasting the air for scents that you duck down and are able to grab the scrawl as you kind of head back to the group. I'll let you read this one off for me. I'll send this to you on Facebook. Facebook. I'll get you to read it out loud. We'll get you guys all involved here. You don't have to share with the group, but just so the information is shared. As you kind of put that into your pocket, you make your way back to the group. Tony, you've arrived silently. You, as you approach, you see the glowing amulet on Kansu's breastbone. Not like that, from what you've seen.
Seems like it's overcharging or something. Just started happening.
It's like, yeah. Okay, I'll just put that one in the D&D chat as well. Or, sorry, in the D&D for the Discord. Okay. So, what would you guys like to do? You see the dirt path continues in the direction of where that monster is. But Gilroy, from what you recall, there would be one of those outposts, one that would be close by, but not following along this path. It would be from your direction. You figure probably east, so maybe a bit of south in there as well at some point.
Right. I think the closest
like lookout tower or whatever I saw was in this direction. What did you see over there, Tony? Is everything okay? Can we just keep moving? I do. I would like that. Oh. Right, how good we talking?
That was such an honest answer. I did.
Ooh. Maybe not a good idea then. Try and avoid it? Can we all be stealthy?
I could try.
Hey, I mean, it's tough when you roll with disadvantage, bitch.
Did you happen to find another gauntlet around there? Because if that's the case, we should probably go the opposite direction. Yeah, last time we ran into a giant creature out in a layer of hell, we decided to almost get into a fight with it, stole a gauntlet, and then traded it for nothing to, do we know it's Alden that you gave it to?
No, he said it. That it's Tara that's gonna use the gauntlet. All right.
That's not
How about we focus on what's at hand? Let bygones be bygones. We gotta keep moving.
at hand. Let's try to be stealthy. Try our luck. I think so. If we can avoid, we don't know what this world is like yet, and it looks bad. He's about to explode. Look, his amulet. Don't know what's going on there. Could
Yeah,
just burst
we
off
should
at any
cover
point,
that
we don't
too.
know.
Pretty bright.
Rithik did say he was sensing a lot of evocation magic. Is that right?
Yes, pretty much everywhere. So, and I'm sure there are other magics around as well, but I can't sense them because of the evocation magic. Why don't we just go around it instead of walking straight at it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
but
at
if
the
we're
creature
far,
beside Nick.
it's literally looking at us like, are you guys done talking? Hi. Yeah, but
Yeah.
what if it's traveling in pack? Vanish 1, 10 more come out.
Do move in herds.
Oh, frick, you bastard.
That's the kind of thing that I'm thinking of right now. I don't think that kind of creature would just be by itself.
Hey. What if that's the baby? Ah!
Did it look like what? Why don't you make a nature check? We don't do enough of those in this campaign. I feel like there's been like the only nature checks have been
No,
because
that's
of
nature.
frickin' blanket. What's he told them?
Oh, grad.
Okay, there we go. Right, Dargan backwards. I won't forget that.
Don't divulge my secrets. Those are my naming
Oh,
traits.
darn
No one
it,
else can know.
backward.
Sorry, Dominus, that was it. Your relationship. A 9. Excellent. I gotta punish this.
There's a reason we
Uh,
don't do nature checks in this group.
You just walk
Because
Oh, no,
away.
we're-
No one,
so-
no one here is intelligent.
you looked. It looked like it was preparing to rest, from what you could tell. Preparing to rest. Preparing.
I misserved.
So we should wrap
Lilith?
around and not serve it.
Yeah.
Lilith will return.
I think we should try and sneak. We don't know enough.
I think we do what Rithik said. We just wrap around it. Avoid this whole situation.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
go
try and
around.
sneak
Try
while we
not to
go
get
around
caught.
it as well.
Yeah, like
There's also a very good chance that most things know we're here already.
Oh, it's kind of a.
We know what
There now?
direction we're supposed to be going to get out of here.
Gilroy's telling us it's that way.
This is the guy who came in and said, "This is the wrong way, boys," and he's like, "Nope, now it's going that way."
once we came through the magical hole, I realized, okay,
He just had
maybe-
portal lag. It happened.
you know, I had my adrenaline pumped through me when I was sent into the sky. All right, it made me look sharper. And there's a big old
You-
research station that
You,
way.
oh, there is. Okay.
All right.
The
Alright.
closest outpost is this way.
Wait, so there's two places? A research
Okay,
area and an
alright, listen.
outpost?
Right? Listen, big building, big station. Ooh, don't know what it is. Okay, right? Far away. That's the main direction we're going. Dotted throughout the forest, jungle, we've got a couple of like watchtowers or little places, and I don't know if they're friend or foe yet, but I think we should find one to see if they could be a place maybe to be safe, because we got glowy over here, and it's kind of like a big old beacon just right towards us. I think that would be perfect.
I think that would be very.
I think the best part of that plan is that no one will be able to see anything except for me. No, you can't, because you can't see anything in magical darkness. You have devil sight? How the fuck did you get devil sight?
Because Asmo did some shit with him before he kills him.
Oh,
Let's try and skirt around the kitty.
Asmo
Good
did a
idea.
number on this bad boy, and then he died. He came back as a mom vampire. Dude, this guy.
next time I pick an undead race, I'm using a fucking UA one and not an actual one, because the UA ones get all the warlock perks without actually being a warlock. So is it a warlock perk or an undead perk? Oh, okay, that's different. Yeah, you keep saying undead perk. What the fuck?
His story.
Hmm.
All right. All right, plan. Stealthily
teeth.
go to the research. Look for an outpost to see friend or foe.
That's what we're doing. Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's get a stealth check as a group.
GG boys.
Is there any way we can buff ourselves, boys? And kind
Probably. Mark. Oh,
Mark it. You like that now. Dude, I got a nat 20 and an 8, but it's at disadvantage, so the nat 20 is not even there. So I
Oh,
have
well.
a 7. Oh no. I don't have any nat 20, so.
the amount of d20s he rolls in damage against you.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know the repercussions of using them or not using them. I got a 7, boys.
Like, you're gonna take all the nat 20s in damage, and then the amount of
Nope.
times you used it, it's gonna crit against you. So it's like, oh, it's gonna be 20 d6s. You used 8. All right, well, 8 of them crit.
Oh, yeah.
Against herself, the one that's giving you the power. Well, get ready, boys, because we're about to fight a freaking saber. A 2-headed saber with 3 tails.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is.
I don't know what that is.
And
What
there's
did you
definitely
roll?
more of them.
What'd you roll, Nick?
I actually rolled pretty well. I got a 13.
Oh, that's actually not bad. Double digits.
Yeah.
Go you.
Yeah.
100%
Purpose
a Tomb
has
of Annihilation. creature.
Oh no, that's bad.
Off the Isle of Chult.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Oh,
I feel like
I know.
I
where
feel
we
like
are.
we're in the
Uh-oh.
Spy Kids movie where you know that island
Yeah,
where all
literally.
the
Yeah. The island. Of
Oh, okay,
monsters
that's what
gets
it.
deep
Yeah,
cutting.
yeah. Where it's like they're all trapped in here, and that's where we are. We're like, well, we're trapped in the island.
Justin didn't get a chance to run his Tomb of Annihilation campaign, so now he's just making us play through it in the final level of hell.
Yeah.
To be fair, that would have been a different kind of hell. That thing was so hard, and the original one was even harder somehow. It was just like, if you just didn't pick the right room, you die. There was like really no way around it.
Well,
So,
boys, I hope we
really
rolled high.
interactive, really fun. Okay, let's calculate those stealth checks. We'll go from order of what I see. Seamus, let's hear yours first. 1.
Disadvantage,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh,
Nice.
excellent. 1.
Real good.
Nicholas.
13 with disadvantage.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I know.
13. Will.
I had a natural 20, but I had disadvantage, so it's an 8 minus 1, 7.
Okay. John. What's your stealth check?
A neck crack.
Yeah.
No big deal.
I just kind of
I'm just
broke the
invisible
fourth
now.
wall.
Finally,
session?
Maurizio.
21.
I will. Okay. Okay.
I
so
will say he was about to say like,
83 divided by 5 averages
what's
to
Atari?
16. Good point. But I mean, it's just gonna make it more divisible. So it's 83. I forgot to roll for her. Let's go. It's fine.
I was actually leaving her out too because I was like, maybe her
18.
not rolling will
83
help.
plus
She's gotta have good
18.
stealth.
I will ask you guys this: do you guys want to include Eddie in this stealth check?
Would it help? I don't think it would.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm making an average as a group. That's how I'm.
That's
Eddie,
what I'm saying. I don't
Eddie
think
would
average
be at
wise-
like ultra disadvantage because
That's what I was
like,
saying, I
I'm
don't
gonna
think it
like
would help."
shoot some rocket drones out of my shoulder pad and like scout.
No, let's say Eddie was very stealthy. That he wasn't there.
No.
Give him like a 10.
So
Let's give him like a
total
10.
with Takari, she got an 18 total. So 101 averages down to 16.83. So it was gonna be 17 regardless because it was 16.6. Now it's 16.83. Now it is really. I am just going to roll. The creature has a modifier of +5.
Okay, so
I'm
if it
going to
just
share
rolls,
this roll.
if it rolls a 12, we're fucked.
Exactly.
Ah!
You guys are very lucky.
He's like, I didn't hit roll yet. We're about to start it now.
Let's just reroll. Let's just reroll this for fun. Yeah, that's fate. I rolled the same thing.
Lie. Some
Three
fucking
disadvantages.
ball don't lie.
Oh my.
We
3
gave it
disadvantages.
advantage.
Someone got a 1. Unbelievable.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut
I rolled a
up.
1 that time. So I got that out of my system. I'm just going to use my big red dice. I don't think I'm going to roll here anymore. Uh, so
The clonker dice.
yeah,
The loaded days.
to be fair, it probably was weighted in some capacity. It's unconfirmed. We don't know. That's the one I'm amazing for the weekend though.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, one less
Yeah.
raw.
that's the
Gotta
TPK
make-
dice.
That is. Can't TPK as yet. I can maim you severely. I can kill some of you here, but
Yeah,
Anyways.
right.
Basically,
Making
like,
your-
Gilroy, you're my champion, so you're alive. Everyone else dead.
well, hoisting up your bootstraps quietly, you take your first ginger steps. Now you guys are going towards one of the outposts, correct? Not towards the main building? Okay.
Correct.
Every moment feels like hours as you step. At one point, Takari's ear perks, as does those of you with heightened senses. You almost see a shadow on the forest along the leaves, this massive creature. You see these massive tusks emanating down from the saber tooth. Actually, they're probably not tusks, but it doesn't matter at that point. You can almost hear the feline purrs from both its head as if it's gaining on you. But it's just a trick of the forest itself. The fauna continues to make these strange slurping sounds as you walk ever so slowly. These fungus or mold, you see it festers on these pronged trees, and when it can't consume the tree, it begins to consume whatever bug or other mold is on there. Just think of those like games where you're like a big fish is eating little fish to get big and then eating that. You see that until after what seems like hours of stealthily moving through the forest, you see the ground maybe at one time had been macheted, cleared out, but it's grown in. The trunks have been carved in at some point, but now there's new life beginning to grow from them. Would one of you like to make a nature check?
Who can even do this?
You can do it.
I have a
I
minus
can.
one.
I can think of maybe.
I have a
doing it.
-1.
Ah, too bad. I only rolled a 6.
All
So
my
11
is fine.
plus 5, but 11. Yeah.
11 plus 5? So 16
No,
or
it was
11?
a 6.
No,
It was a 6
plus 5, 11.
As you look at the new life sprouting, there's almost what looks like a new tree has begun to sprout from the old, like a parasite. It's a different breed of tree. Instead of the old, more familiar jungle trees, you see these pronged trees beginning to grow from it. You guess from what you see and how tall they get, to upwards of 200 feet. Truce, by the way, these things were weird. This is probably about 10, 15 feet. It's been a couple of years since this new life has begun to grow. As you look at this and then you see it's made of glass, but elements of metal give it the structure, the framing of this igloo looking building. It's circular with a small entrance in the front, but you see one of those tall poles, a couple of them surrounding it with wires that look like they go into it from the ground.
Party. And I'll say that, like, at least I'll comment on kind of the new tree thing. Kind of be like, point out that it's recently been cut and macheted and seems like probably already gets planted here. This new species of
Rolled an
plant,
11.
whatever.
I won't elaborate more than that.
And yeah, I'll just relay the rest of the information, kind of what I saw, and how it's connected to the wire tower thing.
But it doesn't look like there's been anyone here in quite some time.
I mean, it's been a few years since these started growing, so
Is there any way we can check inside without just walking in? Does anyone have any ability to do that? Just to see if there is anyone in there, or if they're friendly or not.
I got rid of
The building, Justin. Does it have like windows or anything we can see through?
The building itself, again, is made of glass. You can see into it. From what, yes, okay. You can see, again, there's flora. From what you can see, so it's not a bad question at all. You can see elements inside that the flora extends up, but it
Yeah, let's go take a look inside. Does anyone want to keep watch outside?
Before we go, if we're gonna be doing this, I'll ritually cast. It's gonna take 10 minutes to cast Rory's telepathic bond on everyone that's here,
I think it's worth it. Yeah.
so that we can all communicate for
does
1 hour.
Rory's have a verbal component.
Yep, verbal somatic.
Uh-oh.
Excellent.
And I don't know if material. Yeah, material.
Material kind of gets passed over for later in the game. You go. It's
Okay. I
unfortunate.
mean, I have that because
As long as you think you have it, it makes
I
sense.
have
that
it.
you
I have it. It's just two
It's like a pinch of salt.
eggshells. It's
You
two
don't find
eggshells of
pinch of
two
salt.
different creatures, and I know I have Homura's eggshell, and I could have gotten another eggshell of something else for sure. A chicken. I don't know.
Chicken.
It just has two different eggshells of two different creatures. It's just a piece. I know I have.
got one from the Sabertooth den.
No,
Right next when
no,
you picked up
no.
the scroll.
No. I have that.
They probably lay eggs.
Alright, I'll cast it. Now we can all speak to each other from any distance for an hour.
Well, now let's get a stealth check from the young man.
From me?
You're casting
I
the spell.
thought we were far away from this thing.
You think that's the only thing here?
Ah, shit. Okay, first roll wasn't that bad, but it's at disadvantage. Wow, another nat 20 lost. That is a 13. It was a 14 on the first one and a nat 20 on the second one, but minus 1, 13.
You whisper it tentatively, cautiously, and you feel the web of connectivity between the seven of you spur into action once again.
Okay. I'm gonna say this through my head. So who wants to go in and who wants to stay out as a lookout?
Hot dogs. Sorry, intrusive thoughts. I'll go in.
Okay. Anyone else?
I can stay out.
Okay, I think I'll stay out. And I think the card will also stay out, so maybe the rest of you go in?
Why would you assume that?
I don't. You shouldn't go with Tony inside. He's not real fond of you
can't
right
put
now.
you in a space. If you go around the corner, we can't guarantee your safety. I'm so sorry.
No, it's just right now. Tony's being a real sensitive.
I can fine. If you don't think of any help up in there, sure, I'll stay out here.
No. I think you're plenty help with us out here. I don't want you to have to deal with Tony.
It'll be good that Hikari joins us inside. If you don't mind, of course.
You want me to join you?
Yeah, I think another pair of eyes here might help.
We don't know. I mean, we never really asked if you know anything about this level of hell.
Some more illuminating signs that might be able to fill in some gaps. I'm a little lost as well. So, Kansu, Takari, and Gilroy.
Everyone
No,
except me
no,
and Virgil.
That's what it is.
Everyone except and Eddie.
We'll have Eddie.
Rithik, Eddie, and me are staying out.
I feel like
Eddie would
if
go
Kevin-
in.
Eddie would go
I
in?
think Eddie would for
Eddie
sure.
would 100%
Everyone's in
go
except me and Rithik. Me and Rithik are staying out.
Oh, this is the perfect time for him to cut off another arm.
This is great. For, you know, you can talk.
As you enter, you see Containment Unit 6B written in like this much dilapidated. The sign has been weathered by weather, time. Containment Unit 6B reveals as you enter.
Want to hear the
What?
Is that what I hear it says?
That's what it says.
That's the announcer.
Walk
As
through
you
the door.
Has the thought system
Welcome.
changed to a more female voice?
Welcome.
you want to hear-
everything
Yeah.
about Containment Unit B, whatever?
Like you
6B.
again. Are you the voice from Sylvanost?
You see, as you enter, the walls themselves seem to be alive with these creeping vines, their tendrils twisting, and Gelroy, you see these containers that you were seeing outside as these tendrils twist onto the tanks. These cylinders are filled with a viscous fluid, the light within this dangling orb, light bulb, flickering ever so slightly. You see in one of the cylinders floats a humanoid figure. The muscles are swollen, veins blackened like poisoned roots threading beneath pale translucent skin. Eyes are now dull orbs of this sunken, unfathomable darkness. You see when it hits the side of the container, a spasm racks through the body. You see the hands twitch as though trying to grasp at something. You see the mouth open before it goes into this slumber once more.
Someone
As you
cast
kind of-
darkness.
as you
Arm.
as you take like a step back, you see the flora covers a multitude of these glass cylinders. Along the walls, you see long decayed, half eaten, likely at some point by fauna that would have been in here and let loose at some point. Appendages of creatures, vials of blood, scattered, smashed. And what looks to be a research desk, and upon the desk a emaciated cadaver drooped over, patches of hair that remain withered and frail, the skin hollowed and sunken. That's what you see.
Can can I look at the handwriting of the note and compare it to, I guess, anything in there? See if maybe this note is from here.
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check.
And I'll tell everyone to put on gloves. Don't touch a thing.
A 30.
A 30. You know without a doubt it is not the same handwriting.
Okay.
So, as you approach Tony, I'll once again, I'll put this in the chat as well, but there's from what you can, like, without touching him, you can see, again, either his body or time has worn away some of it.
Okay.
You could probably find more if you moved him or touched him or interacted with him, but that's what you see from under, if you want to.
All right, want me to read it? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
My father was one of the first to be afflicted. He was always a man of few words, but as the days wore on, he grew more and more withdrawn. He stopped going to the markets, stopped visiting the family plot at the edge of the valley. He spent most of the time in the cellar tinkering with things he would not let us see. When I asked him what he was doing, he just stared at me with those hollow eyes, a look that chilled me to the bone. The first real sign that something was wrong came when he collapsed in the fields, clutching his head in agony. We rushed him back to the house, but he was already slipping away from us. His skin grew cold, his breath shallow, but it was his eyes that haunted me. They were black, completely black, with no trace of the man I had known. He was gone, replaced by something else, something dark and empty.
So, without moving him, that's what you guys see. Now that you guys kind of see what's inside containment unit 6B, what would you guys like to do?
You describe the building that we're in again?
So think of it kind of like a terrarium, but more in the shape of like an igloo. So it's bulbous, spherical, like a half sphere, with this small opening at the front that you can enter in. The walls themselves are like littered and have much grown in with like the creeping vines, and the trees that are in here have grown tall, and just it looks like almost
We came from that were like planted by that guy, right?
planted by him or
something.
people. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just with neglect, they have taken on a life of their own and have grown over much of what they were working on in here. And from what you can see from the cylinders, there is these humanoids within these, again, like these back to tanks that seem to be alive, but not really. But the man at the desk, without a doubt, died long ago, or a couple of years ago at least. The fact that he still has skin is a miracle in its own right.
What do these creatures look like? And are they, like, what do they look like in the tubes?
He said human.
Like, what type of human?
From the sunken hollowedness of the one you can see, it looks like a human.
Okay.
From the dilapidated, shrunken state, you can't tell if it has if it was male or female at any point. You can't tell. It's like, I think like Barbie Ken doll parts.
Do they look kind of like how he described?
It's a CG still, guys. Come on.
Did he look like how the thing described, like black eyes or like?
The eyes from the note, there seems to be a similarity.
Okay.
Again, there's
Note
more.
out loud, or
Hey, did you read it out loud to them? Or did
Yeah,
you
I
read it
did.
to yourself?
I read it out loud when I was going through it.
Cover your mouth and nose, maybe, everyone? If this is a containment unit and what you read, it sounds like a sickness.
This isn't. You know what this reminds me of? I'm getting a bad feeling. It kind of reminds me of Vortigern. I was infected by that in the past, and that's what.
That's right.
I don't.
Could it,
And again, I wasn't far along enough in it to really know what the full symptoms were. But it just seems too much of a coincidence that we're here, and maybe if we look more into these research notes, maybe we might find it.
if this station is abandoned, then I think we should probably head for the larger one to see if there's anyone or anything still there, right? Just in general, we can keep looking around here, but I'm just thinking these are not shelters, they're to keep something contained, something inside contained.
And these people don't look similar to the scientists I saw in that one tower, right?
Because of the emaciatedness of
Mhm.
them, it's very hard to tell.
Like the
Maybe
clothes or
the clothes. Hmm. As that thought comes to mind in your head, as you look at the robes that adorn him, there is a glint of silver that remains. That's all you can kind of. That would be the one connection, if there
Okay.
was one.
I guess,
okay,
and
go for it.
I'll be thinking out loud. Tony's thinking out loud, so he's just kind of recapping what he saw at the tower and just kind of whatever helps with the investigation of this place.
Would anyone else like to do an investigation check?
Yeah, I would tell Gelroy that I think he's right, but we should definitely, like you said, try to get a little bit more information here. Me particularly, I want to try to investigate the connection to the main tower node that's in this building. And basically, it's like, okay, there's obviously a larger research facility area. This thing is obviously connected to that in some way. I guess I'm trying to see how that works. Where is it? And
I will.
what is the type of connection?
You're not sure why, but you feel inspired in this moment as you look at the nodes connected. You see this transmitter. You see, it's essentially like a breaker of all these nodes. For some reason, something is familiar about this to you. Go ahead and make either an investigation or an arcana check.
With just Arcana? I feel like investigation is the role I want, but Arcana
You pick.
gives you.
There's different answers, so.
All right, Arcana. We'll do it. 21.
As you look at the breaker where all the conduits seem to come at the central point, as you feel a jolt, it's not an electrical shock, it's a stinging burn instead, and your amulet grows brighter. I'll see if you figured it out from that, but we'll see. I'm talking. You feel like there's a similarity with the energy source powering this place. You feel very comfortable with it, in fact. If you
I
can't
guess
figure
I
it
would.
out, I guess that's fine.
No, I can't figure it out, at least right now.
That's fine.
Because I thought this was, what's her name? Belial's thing? Necklace?
Fierna.
Here now.
Curiouser and curiouser. Fierna and Belial, especially Fierna, definitely were masters of Hellfire. It is Hellfire, but that's all I can give you. I was just making sure you knew it was Hellfire.
I'll share that with everyone that's with us.
I'll be
So
right back.
everyone that's not Rithik and Virgil, obviously.
Okay. Interesting. So this place is powered by hellfire, meaning it's.
Did we say that? Was that it? Was that the conclusion we said?
Is that what you said? I thought that's
I don't
what
know.
you said.
The energy source, the reason you feel so familiar with it, and because you rolled high, the connection between your amulet growing even brighter. You know there's a Hellfire connection here somewhere for sure.
Within, okay.
But again, Kansu, you would probably have the same thought you did, whereas this is Fierna's thing. I would think that would be something that Kansu would think about, so there's uncertainty there as well.
But you feed that out? You tell us that? Like the hellfire thing?
Yep.
And you don't say it over the mental link?
Oh yeah, remember you guys had the mental link.
We can all talk to each other.
You have to specify, I guess, to the mental link.
You can
I also.
you can retro it if you want to be that if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. I also kind of figured that not everyone came with me directly to the thing.
Oh yeah, you're by yourself with this, I think.
Yeah, like I'm not sure how many people directly went there to investigate. I know everyone's kind of doing their own stuff. So
Yeah. So we're just kind of like waiting on Gilroy and Eddie to come back. Like Tony was looking at the desk. You're looking at the breaker, and then like Tony, I imagine when you were reading out that note, you're kind of reading out loud in comms, clear comms.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
It's like we're like
just
in
let me know.
walkies. We're like, we just went into this weird alien spaceship, so we're just here, like.
What I'm thinking right now is like when in the first Jurassic Park, where they send Ellie to go to turn the breakers on with the raptors following her. That's kind of what I'm thinking about, but.
Just better hope there's not that weird thing followed us, and we're like, clever girl. As it like pops out.
Girl.
The little like saber tooth thing.
So, Kansu, final answer. Is that said aloud? Is that kept to yourself, or is that in the comms?
it's said aloud. It's said aloud.
Aloud. Okay.
Oh no, sorry. And when you say aloud, I mean like it's
Mental.
I'm sharing. It's in the comms. I'm sharing it to the
He's
party.
screaming it
keeping
loud.
I'm not keeping it to myself.
He's mentally.
I found something!
You hear a roar in the distance.
So, Virgil and Rithik, you guys are but also hearing this as well. You guys are outside. One of you can make a perception check. One of you can make a nature check.
I'll take the perception if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I got 26.
26. And the nature check. 2. Rithik. Main thing you notice is that stinging burn as you. It's a strange heat, and that's kind of mitigating you from picking up anything you might have otherwise seen nature-wise in terms of that roll.
I'd also still be consistently casting detect magic.
Yep, and nothing has really changed.
Yep.
In fact, if it could be more evocation, you kind of noticed that when Kansu made mention about what he discovered, may have grown even more so. Virgil, what you pick up, because you're kind of in this sheltered area, you're keeping your eyes and ears out, is now it's quiet. The fauna has. It's eerie. But another thing, you guys have been here maybe about an hour and a half at this point. You look up, you've never really watched the sun before, but as you look up, the sun is in the exact same spot it was before. It has not moved. It is the exact same time. Or it's still midday. It's straight up above you.
I'll share this with everyone telepathically. Like,
McDonald's.
I'll share this and I'll just say, I don't think time is moving in the same sense as the other realms. I think it is, we are being here for a couple hours, but I think the sun is stagnant where it is. And I'll say that to everyone.
Do you think we stop aging?
No, I think
I
it's
could
just,
use that.
I think it's just the environment.
So, Nick, I'm not sure. Did you hear what Kansu had found, or did you hear that at all? 'Cause everything we've been
Yeah,
saying that
no.
like these two have been saying everything in the comms. So you are aware of everything.
Cool. I don't know if I heard what Kansu found.
The connection, the energy source behind this cable things is hellfire.
Ew.
That's why if my necklace is radiating.
Right. Okay.
Gilroy. Tony's at the desk. You went to the tanks. Kansu went to the containment or to the breaker. Are you looking at anything else right now?
I want to look at the vines a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. As you take a closer look at them, what is your intent with them?
I want to see if there's any kind of like black residue, the same thing I'm seeing in people's eyes, the thing I'm seeing in his veins. I want to see if it's like transferred via plant, or if it I don't know, if you put a daisy in food coloring, it changes its petals, right? So I don't know if it's soaked up some of the black stuff around, or I don't know. I just want to look to see if it's only like people virus, or if it's a plant virus too.
Go ahead and either make an investigation or a nature.
It's the same thing, but he's feeling nature today.
Feel nature? Makes sense. We're looking at nature.
3.
Don't understand it.
The only thing that you like, as you're looking, it looks like a tendril, like a creeping vine. It is a very dark color, almost like a tar. As you're careful not to touch it, but as you take a closer look at it, it undulates, so it actually moves by its own volition, and it kind of like makes you back off, and you can't pick up anything else besides that in that moment.
Okay. And there's vines surrounding all of the tanks, right?
Yep. Upon closer inspection, you actually see they might originate from the tanks.
Ooh. Ooh. There's a dude in that one. Is there people in the other one, or are they broken?
Many of them are shattered.
Cool. Good.
There is another one where there appears to be about half a torso. The legs are gone, and some of the left arm is missing on the other one. Much smaller, like a child, perhaps, or a smaller humanoid.
Okay. I'll relay the undulation. That it's like moving, or and that the vines might have come from the tanks. The tanks are broken.
Didn't some of these vines start from like all the way down below where it was just cut kind of thing? But so he's saying the vine originates from there, or was it like the black?
Some of these black vines, these creeping vines, some of them for certain do originate from the tanks.
Okay, and then I guess are the tanks like connected to like this building like thing, or is it like a foreign remote movable
So
tank?
you see, so think of them like these long back to tank, these tubes. Each one has like a topper with a long tubing that if you were to follow it along the ground, it all connects to this central unit, this almost like this generator. And connected to that generator, as you look at some of the vines, but also a tubing that connects to the breaker you're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'll say this whole thing is.
As I see Kansu near the breaker, I just think in my mind, don't turn that on. Don't do that. I don't flip switches.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to find research notes, so whatever I can find.
Yeah. Do you want to move the body to find the rest of what this guy has written, or do you want to try to find something else?
Let me inspect the body first. Like, does he look like, does he have weird fungus stuff growing on him? Does he, like, what does he look like? Does he look like something out of, like, Last of Us, or is he just, like, a dead body? Like, are we gonna activate a clicker here?
Let's make an investigation check.
Okay. 17.
17. As you kind of like bend down to kind of like look him more in the eyes, you see the sunken hollows of missing eyes, similar to the one that's in the tank. As you like look down, you see in his mouth, his tongue has split into 3 parts, and each is this black tendril. The rest of him looks emaciated, almost burned in a way.
Okay, so does this look anything like what we've witnessed with these weird eldritch-looking horror creatures that we've encountered our entire campaign? Like Melgoth, the Vision, we saw Gwyn.
So because you made an assertion, you did say it sounded like Vortigern.
Mhm.
As you glance down and you see a different angle hidden beneath one of his elbows, you do see the V word written on them.
then this is definitely research that I need. So Tony's gonna immediately kind of get like he really needs this because this might be answers to save Gwyn. So he probably will tell everyone. I think we found there's some pretty important research under this guy for Vortigern. Um, any objection to me moving this body?
I object.
What do you think's gonna happen, Gilroy?
I don't know, but I don't like it. Can you move him with magic? Or a stick?
I could use my sword, yes. I wasn't planning on
No,
touching him.
not your sword. No, no, a stick.
A stick? Okay, I guess I could find something to pry him off of it.
Could I move it with like a mage hand sort of thing?
Like if I use Mage Hand and he uses Mage Hand, can we both?
Can we mage hand together? We should handshake.
To start puppeting him.
Yeah.
We can have
Yes, we
Bernie.
mage hand for that. Sure.
Yeah. Start making his mouth move. Talk for him.
Let's have him float outside and freak Riddick, Virgil, and Takari out. Floating out.
I'll pretend it's me, and it'll be like, I've aged! Help! There's horrors inside!
I'll use Hellfire Mage Hand to really bring it out to life.
Set the mood real nice. As the body is like paraded ever so slightly above, you guys move it to a determined safe location. Whether that is outside of the laboratory in an attempt to scare Rithik and Virgil, is up to you. John, there is 2 paragraphs from the original message that I sent you. I'm going to send you the full thing
Okay.
of what would be under this guy.
Okay.
So, you can read it out loud if you want. It is long. Up to you.
Alright, I can read it. Let's see.
Sure.
So it was okay. He was replaced. Okay, journal entry. That's where I was at.
Eyes
guys-
were mine first, Nick.
Journal entry. World. Kaladin Prime. Date. Year 5873. Cycle 22. Subject Vortigern. Syndrome progression. Uncharted symptoms. We called it the creeping dread at first, a fitting name for a sensation that crept into our lives like a thief in the night. We noticed it first in the elders, those who had been on the frontier for the longest. They began to change, subtly at first, an uncharacteristic silence, a hesitation in their speech, a distant look in their eyes that suggested they were seeing something the rest of us could not. My father was one of the first to be afflicted. He was always a man of few words, but as the days wore on, he grew more and more withdrawn. He stopped going to the market. Oh wait, that's where we actually read Drew, right?
Yeah, so it's the first,
Okay,
that
first-
paragraph, the next
yep.
one.
And then, so remember, that's when he said he was gone, replaced by something else, something dark and empty. The doctors had no name for it at the time. They couldn't explain why his body seemed to reject all treatment, why his mind had been shattered so completely. It wasn't until later that we learned the truth, that the darkness was not just a disease, but a transformation, one that consumed the mind and body, turning the afflicted into something no longer human. I've been experiencing the same symptoms now. It started with the headaches, just like they said it would. They come in waves, so intense that I can barely see straight. And the dreams, oh the dreams. They're not just my dreams. They're memories, but not my own. I'm seeing things I've never seen before, places I've never been, and the voices, they're there too, whispering to me, telling me to give in, to embrace the darkness. I've tried to resist, but it's getting harder. The physical changes are beginning. My skin is paler than it should be, and my veins, gods, my veins, they're darkening, turning black. I've started hearing voices that aren't there, shadows that move when there shouldn't be any. The doctors say it's the early stages of Vortigern syndrome, that I still have time, but I know better. The darkness is already inside me. It's only a matter of time before it takes over completely. They say that once you reach the final stage, there's no coming back. You become one with the darkness, a servant of the crawling chaos. They say that when that happens, you lose all sense of self, all memories of who you once were. I'm scared. I don't want to forget. I don't want to lose myself to this thing. But the darkness is relentless. It's always there, just at the edge of my vision, waiting. I've started making arrangements just in case. If it gets too bad, I've asked the others to do what needs to be done. I don't want to become one of those things. I don't want to be a monster. But deep down, I know it's already too late. The darkness is inside me. It's been inside me for a long time. If anyone reads this, know that we fought, that we tried to hold on, but the darkness, Vortigern syndrome, it's more than just a disease. It's a force, a will, and it's coming for us all. There's no escape. There's no hope. The darkness is inside of us, and soon it will be everywhere. There you go.
So, whether specifically this man wrote this or if this was something he was reading over is undetermined. But for sure, in his last moments, this was important to him. So,
Guess Tony will kind of put that in his bag or whatever. There's no other research notes, nothing like, because I'm assuming they were doing tests on these subjects. Now that Tony's going to assume this was kind of like a medical research facility.
So, as you've moved the body with Akansu's help, I'll get you guys to together make a joint investigation check.
Okay.
As you kind of read that out, Gilroy thinks about like the darkness that they were talking about on when we went back into the past and met with like Licorice and them, like the darkness they were talking about and things like that. And then this. Is that how it's everywhere? How it's following and taking over worlds? It's a disease, a virus. And when people like us visit places we shouldn't, like here, we get infected and bring it back to our world. And it just keeps spreading. Is that how the crawling chaos is working?
Based on what I saw in my vision that Gwyn showed us, it looks like as the absence of hope is when despair sets in and when this crawling chaos starts absorbing all these worlds, because we saw all these lights of hope go out and get absorbed by both the crawling chaos and also Glacia. Maybe it's a loss of hope. I will say, though, something that's interesting to me reading through this that gives me some hope that maybe there's a chance is that it says you lose your sense of self and who you are and your memories, but when we met Gwyn, she still was able to fight back even for just a brief moment. And she remembered who she was even for a brief moment, even when she was fully engulfed by it.
So maybe it's just making her forget who she is. It hasn't actually taken over who she is.
Seems like it. Seems like there's a chance. I don't know what the answer is yet, and I'm hoping that maybe we can find something here, but...
As the body is moved, I'll get you Kansu and Tony and Gilroy. Get you guys to make an investigation check together.
Okay. I rolled a 26.
12.
So, you do see in a different scrawl other notes underneath. Almost, you see this dilapidated book, this black book that's small and written in an infernal script.
I could read Infernal.
So, under that, John, if you want to pass this one off, this is a long one too.
Okay.
If you want to read it as well, you can.
Let's see.
It's very long.
Are any of you like bored of hearing me talk? Do Any of you want to start?
I'm
reading?
fine
No.
with you doing it.
Okay.
I'm just not writing it because since you have it, I'm just gonna ask you to copy paste it to me
I
later.
think Justin's been copying paste it once I read it, right? It's-
No,
the last
not
one
the,
said it
not
was
the last
too
one.
long, so I couldn't post it to Discord.
Let's see. Okay.
You have to do it in sections.
I
which,
gotcha, I
yeah,
gotcha.
have
I
to
will
do.
after. I mean, I have all the notes, obviously, so.
Yeah,
All
Surprisingly,
right.
I don't improv these notes on the fly.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, John can also send them to me, so it's no big deal. That way I can hear it because
This one is a long one, guys. Brace yourself. All right.
I'm ready.
Journal entry. Dr. Malphus Infernalist. Infernalis? Is it?
Infernalist.
Okay, Infernalist.
Is this an
Of
extra T? I just noticed that. Whoops.
Okay, no, you're good. Infernalist of the 8th Circle. Date, The Midnight's Tear. Year 6741. Subject, anomalous influence of the dreamer and its corruption of infernal authority. Entry 1. His Grace, Lord Mephistopheles, has tasked me with an assignment of utmost importance. As one of his most trusted scholars, I am to delve into the mysterious anomaly that has been afflicting the 9th Circle. The dreamer, as we have come to know it, has begun to exert its influence, though its true nature remains as elusive as it is dangerous. The Grand Archdevil himself has grown concerned, and so I am summoned to investigate, to peel back the layers of this cosmic enigma. At first I was eager, honored even, to be chosen for such a task, but now I'm not so sure. The void stirs, and with it a sense of dread that even my loyalty to Mephistopheles cannot entirely dispel. Still, I must remain vigilant. I cannot allow fear to creep into my heart. I must remain steadfast, for if Mephistopheles places his trust in me, then I must not fail. Entry 2. The dreamer's influence grows stronger with each passing day. Our initial studies yielded little more than temporal anomalies. Flickers of time lost in the ether, seconds and minutes that vanished without a trace. But now the corruption has taken on a more insidious form. The machines, our most advanced arcane devices, fail more often than not. They whine and groan as though alive, as if the metal and gears themselves are straining under the weight of the dreamer's presence. They break without reason, melt into pools of slag, or worse, they turn against us. I have sent several reports to His Grace, seeking guidance, yet his responses have become increasingly erratic, cryptic. Mephistopheles, ever the cold and calculating strategist, now speaks in riddles, his words dripping with a venomous uncertainty that is unlike him as a demon, is unlike an angel. I dare not question him openly, but in the privacy of these pages, I allow myself the luxury of doubt. Could it be that the dreamer's influence reaches even the Lord of the Eighth? Or is this merely a reflection of my own growing unease? I must press on. For the sake of the 9 hells, for the sake of my lord's dominion, I must. Entry 3. His Grace's latest orders. Perplexing. He demands that I double my efforts, that I push beyond the limits of my own understanding, to grasp at the strands of the dreamer's essence and unravel them. Yet he contradicts himself in the same breath, warning me of the dangers of probing too deeply, of falling into the abyss. What am I to make of this? Mephistopheles, the paragon of logic, seems to be torn, caught between his desire for power and the dawning realization of the dreamer's true threat. His missives, once precise and commanding, now read like the ramblings of a madman. He speaks of visions, of a great unmaking, of a void that stretches on forever and devours all. I cannot reconcile this with the devil I have served for aeons. He was always so sure, so absolute in his knowledge and his authority. But now he wavers. And if Mephistopheles himself falters, what hope is there for the rest of us? I have begun to feel the dreamer's presence more keenly, like a shadow hanging over my every thought. It whispers to me, just as it must be whispering to His Grace. But I will not listen. I cannot listen. I must believe that Mephistopheles will find a way. I must believe that we are not doomed. Entry 4. Today I found myself questioning reality.
It's like the Gus Johnson thing with freaking
What?
on that smot. I'll tell you after.
Okay. Today I found myself questioning reality, my own perception, my loyalty. The dreamer's touch has spread further than I feared. My thoughts are not my own. The whispers are louder now, filling my mind with thoughts of despair and futility. Mephistopheles' last orders, they make no sense. He commands me to harness the power of pure Librium, the one substance that might hold the key to resisting the dreamer. But in the same breath, he tells me to abandon the research, to flee, and to save myself, as if he no longer believes in his own strength. What happened to the archdevil who once ruled over the ninth circle with an iron fist? Where is the devil who would never shy away from any challenge, no matter how dire? He speaks of darkness that even he cannot conquer, a void that swallows even the brightest flames. His words terrify me more than the dreamer itself, for if Mephistopheles is afraid, what hope do I have? I am torn between duty and survival, to obey his grace, or to defy him for the sake of my own sanity. The dreamer whispers that it does not matter, that all paths lead to the same end. But I will not succumb to his lies. I will resist as long as I can. Entry 5.
It's the last one. Last one.
It is done. I have seen the truth, and it has shattered me. Mephistopheles is lost. The dreamer has infected him, corrupted his mind, his very essence. He is no longer the archdevil I once knew. He raves about the end of all things, about a void that cannot be fought, only embraced. He no longer issues orders, he only laments. In his latest message, he spoke to me as if I were a child, as if he were comforting me in the face of inevitable doom. He told me the dreamer is not our enemy, but our fate, that we must accept it, allow it to unmake us, for in unmaking there is peace. I've tried to resist, but I can feel it now. The dreamer's presence is all-consuming, all-encompassing. It has swallowed Mephistopheles whole, and now it comes for me. I do not know how much longer I can hold out. My thoughts are fraying, unraveling like the fabric of time itself. The dreamer is in my mind and my soul, twisting everything I once knew into something dark and alien. If anyone reads this, know that I tried. I tried to serve Mephistopheles, to uphold the order he fought so hard to maintain. But he is gone. The ninth circle is lost, as am I. There is no escape. The dreamer comes for us all, and when it does, there will be nothing left. Not of Mephistopheles, not of me, not of anything. It comes. It comes. I'm coming.
You added that last part.
I'm edging. The dreamer. Alright, anyways.
Don't worry, guys. I know how to win the campaign.
Yeah, it's just a flu shot.
It's just a vaccine, baby.
That's all
Yeah.
it takes. That's how you counter
All it
anything.
takes.
All you need.
That's all we need.
All you gotta do is accept the darkness.
Ow.
Why don't we just become one, like with the Elder Brain?
No. You add a little bit of it, but like in smaller doses, so that your body can build up an immune system
Build up
against
to the
it.
darkness.
Yep.
Yeah. It's called depression. Will.
Very small amount. Very small.
These people are getting the short end of the
Microdose.
stick. They're not even becoming mind flayers. They're just becoming weird, mindless beasts.
So, that is the notes of Dr. Malphus.
He probably was more sophisticated sounding, not like a weird, harsh, like...
No,
Oh, I
that
liked
was his
it.
voice. That was his
I liked
voice to
it.
me now.
You did great. Malphus.
Probably had a monocle and talked with a British accent.
For sure, as you look at where he used to sit, you see a one monocle, a half monocle, the semi-moon one. Yeah.
I'll
Little
pick.
pipe.
Okay, I'll pick up the monocle. I'm sure it has some magical properties. Give me it. What does it give me?
That sets off all the traps in the room. It wasn't the body, it was the monocle.
It was a trap. It's a trap. I yelled.
What does a monocle give you, John? 20/20 vision is what it is.
Maybe it gives me
Plus
plus
one
20
to
perception.
What I?
10/20 vision. I
Give me
don't
the
know.
plus 22
I think
perception
1020 is
monocle.
better, right? Pretty sure.
What?
Because 1020 would be better than 2020, I believe. 'cause
Can the
well,
monocle-
It's 2010 is better. So it's
2010.
it's basically saying that at 20 feet away you see as if you were X amount. So it's like if you were 20 feet away and you see as if you were 10 feet away, it's like your vision is very strong and like good. If you were 2200, it's like
I actually have
can't see crap.
2015 thanks to my eye surgery.
Oh, really?
My eyes are fucked, so.
LASIK turned me from like legally blind to 2015 vision.
Yeah, they told me I
should
should
do
do
if I
that,
need glasses
but
full time because I'm afraid of getting like eye surgery. Like eye stuff freaks me the heck. It's probably why I have so many
100%
eyes.
me too.
Because it's just my fears coming out in this campaign, and like body horror intrigues me a lot, but it also freaks me the heck out as well. So that's probably why I put you guys through it. You guys are living out my fears. So, what to do with that knowledge? Rithik. I believe Tony was reading that out in
Yeah,
the
I was reading it out in the group chat.
Group chat, baby.
What is Rithik? What is he thinking in this moment?
Well, Rithik this whole time was he's sitting outside, he's leaning on the rancer, and Virgil would have seen him every like 10-ish minutes. He'd like mutter something in Infernal, and that's just him recasting Detect Magic. And when Khonsu talked about Hellfire powering the thing, Virgil would have noticed like a visible like pause. And then Rithik would have started like looking around while still casting Detect Magic. And then after Tony reads that, Rithik will say in the telepathic link, well, that explains the Hellfire. If Mephistopheles is behind this.
Was behind this.
He could still be behind this. Just not of his own mind.
So
well,
this.
guys, I think.
Hold up. Mephistopheles is that Asmo or is that a different character?
That's a different character.
Mephistopheles was Lord of the Eighth.
Okay. I'm trying to get
Which
all
we
the
now
planes.
know 3 levels of hell disappeared, right? Because there's only 6 now.
This is 5.
Oh, there's 5. This is 5,
No,
but
no,
there's 6 levels.
This is 5. This is the 5th.
Yeah, and
this is the 5th floor you've been on.
Yeah, but there's only like after this one, there's only 1 more floor because 3 levels disappear because there's no more 9 levels of hell.
So
from what we learned,
You know, Glacia seems like she still has her mind about her. Maybe she's right. All these other devils are.
The Dreamer far before any of the other ones.
She seems like she's like actually conflicting with the Dreamer. I don't actually know what her angle is. She obviously isn't doing anything good, but she's. I don't know. Maybe she might. I feel like the Dreamer is the bigger threat.
Did you say she was in contact with the Dreamer first?
He was working with the Dreamer back when I was still around in Alterum. That's the reason I'm here now.
What was she doing with the Dreamer? Like, you said she was
helping. She was helping the Dreamer
absorb souls, or.
And the Dreamer is helping the Crawling Chaos.
Wait, who's the Dreamer? I thought I always considered the Dreamer and the Crawling Chaos the same entity.
As far as I understand it, the Dreamer is another entity in itself that aids the Crawling Chaos with its master plan of consuming all, because the Crawling Chaos can't travel as easily as the Dreamer can.
Who's the big boss?
The Dreamer.
The Dreamer is probably the one pulling the strings. The Crawling Chaos is just the engine that's.
So it's the Eliath. So the Crawling Chaos is the Eliath. And then he is Kang the Conqueror. Okay, cool. So the Dreamer is Kang, Eliath is the Crawling Chaos. I got it.
Perfect.
And Glacia is Sylvie.
It does seem Glacia is doing her own thing now. Whether that's with the Crawling Chaos or not, I don't know.
Alright, well, we learned a lot more about the Vortigans and it being here as well. I don't think it's safe for us to stay here for resting or anything. I was going to say for night, but Virgil said the sun hasn't moved, so...
Man, there's really nothing else in here? There's no other... This is all we got? Is just saying there's nothing we can do?
Well,
I mean,
from the notes, it seems that the doctor was using Equilibrium in some way to maybe fight the disease. But maybe the doctor didn't have purified Equilibrium like we have.
No, they
Maybe
said
he was
pure
using
Equilibrium.
corrupted Equilibrium.
Is there any Equilibrium or any of the stones here? Like,
I have the
In
one
this
that
room.
you purified for me.
Go ahead and make
As the
I don't want to keep saying investigation, but it's investigation.
I was also gonna ask
It is what it is.
Tony.
mhm. Well,
Use
sorry,
perception.
sorry that I'm like asking sort of. This is like Tony's big like.
Oh, this is fantastic.
No, this is good. This is interesting. Like, I'm curious to see how this all ties together and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Tony.
I just rolled a nat
the,
20, 34.
the journal
At it,
entries
baby.
from the first one that, Mephistopheles. What was his name?
The first journal entries that John was reading there were not penned. Like, they don't have a name attached to them.
It was just Farmer X.
Basically,
Farmer X.
my question is, do the notes show how long it took for the sickness to fully develop? Because I know the first entry that was a little bit unrelated was seemed like 800 years before or something.
Yeah, he didn't. I don't know if they had dates on the entries or if they're just
There's
called.
no dates on those entries, at least. Again, it's kind of like what Virgil said. It wasn't a particularly articulate person. It was Farmer Steve.
Farmer
Oh,
X,
you know.
baby. Or you know what? Let's call him. What's it when a patient goes that they don't have a name? John? No.
Jane Doe or
John,
John Doe.
Jane
John
Doe,
Doe,
that's the
or
word I
John
was
Smith,
looking
or Jane
Yeah, just call him Jane Doe.
Is
no,
it
Jane
John
Doe.
Smith? Oh, it's always
I think
Doe.
it's Jane Doe. I think it's
John Doe and Jane Doe.
Oh, is it John Doe?
Jane,
Okay.
John Doe.
Okay. Tony, go ahead and make me a perception check. Sorry,
Okay.
investigation.
Nat 20,
I was about to
34.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you got that.
add it
I did. Put it
and add another one.
As
Just for
Gilroy
fun.
kind of directs you towards like the vines, to kind of show you what he's talking about. Your eyes glance down to this disc, about 2 inches thick. It's this smushed sphere with a button in the middle and what looks to be a glass on the other side. There looks to be some kind of input.
An input.
Yeah.
Like,
You can push it.
I'm literally doing
like
the
a
thing, John.
button.
I'm literally
Okay.
doing the thing. That's all you gotta do.
well, I gotta ask a lot of questions because you never know. He might suddenly say it's like an
Button.
input, and then it's like,
Just press the button. Just
all right,
press the
I'll
button.
just push it.
Yeah.
I'll push it.
No problem. Just press the button that you don't
Okay.
know nothing about. Just press it.
The
I've heard nothing bad about it.
hologram flickers to life with a low hum. An eerie dim light drapes across the ground. Initially, the image is distorted, a haze of crimson and shadow, but slowly it sharpens, revealing a vast, imposing landscape. Strangely, you guys do recognize this, a certain important building that you were not far along removed from. You see the Iron Tower of Dis surrounded by a labyrinth of buildings. You see the air itself in this hologram begins to shimmer, distorting the space as though being viewed through a veil of flame. At the center of the hologram, a vortex of hellfire burns with a brilliance that is almost painful to behold. The fire is not natural, it is living, almost like a ravenous entity, consuming building and denizen alike. Screams of agony echo faintly from the recording, but you see vague, dark silhouettes still caught in the inferno as the blazing hellfire spews with the natural 20, we'll continue off with that. You see floating, likely imperceptible except to a masterful sleuth that you've become, Tony. The hellfire seems to be coming from this 6-foot tall rod imbued with a glittering ruby, a symbol of power you have seen before. As the recording comes to an end, you
Oh wait,
see the
is
more
that the rod that Asmodeus?
We need to free Asma.
as the oh sorry, I was gonna say,
Oh,
as
sorry.
the recording it's okay. As the recording comes to an end, the shadow ashen street, that Pompeii glaze, leaves Dis behind. All that's left is the Iron Tower after this surge of hellfire. But yes, it is the Ruby Rod, apparently.
Do we think this is a plan or a something that's already happened? Are these the plans for the Death Star?
It's already
No,
happened.
awesome.
This is already gone.
Right.
I'll go into the,
Hellfire is what killed it.
Hmm.
but I'll also go into now because I think for Virgil something just clicked from all the notes that we've heard about the Vortigern. I'll be like, you guys remember when we went to the past and we fought the king of Talesia, Amon?
Yeah.
He wasn't himself. Maybe he was affected by Vortigern and it took over him. What if that's what's happening throughout
That guy's an asshole.
the world? What if Vortigern is what's changing people? And that's what's happening right now. Like everyone we meet or people that we haven't met that are still looking at us, they have Vortigern to not the extent of Gwen, but what if that's how we're being tracked throughout the different iteration? It's different people that still check on us and literally just inform because maybe they have a hive mind.
Well, Virgil, we do know something that's been connected to all of these situations where we've encountered people transforming. There's been one key piece that we've had in all of these situations, the Melgoth vision and the battle with Amon.
Wait, tell me.
It's been the Elibrium. Like, the Elibrium that was
But
around.
that's what I was gonna say. You have what? Check what your ring could do if you have a ring that can purify Elibrium from its corrupted state to its pure state. Which, from what you said, the doctor, he used Elibrium to counteract sickness. What if your ring can help with Vortigern? Or if the pure Elibrium can work against it? Because we know that pure Elibrium and corrupted Elibrium is different.
That would be a good theory, Virgil. I don't know how to test
Because
it
we
here.
know that
I know.
Azathotheum, it seeks Elibrium. And Cosmium, it has like a repulsive nature with Elibrium, but we never asked in the sense of if it was the corrupted Elibrium that has the repulsive nature, while pure Elibrium could attract itself to Cosmium. I'm just saying things out loud
You
because
said
it's kind of clicking with.
Cosmium?
Like
Like,
magnets.
it magnetizes?
Uh-huh.
Like it can point in the direction of where it is?
No. We read this before that Elibrium was attracted to Azathotheum. It seeked it. but we never read if it was corrupted or pure. We just read Equilibrium seeked it.
Sorry, what does
While-
Cosmium do with it?
And then Cosmium was repulsive to the Equilibrium. Like, when you tried to put them together, they separated. They did not want to be together. But what I'm
But
saying
if
is,
it's
what if
purified,
it's
it could be
purified? Maybe it's the opposite. It repels Azathotheum and attracts Cosmium. It's
Can
just,
I don't know. I guess I'll do that theory. Can I take
A
Reverie
theory.
out
A
and
game theory.
can I just
This
put
is a
Reverie?
theory. I don't know if this is right. I'm
That's
just saying.
here. I'll do the test then.
From what the notes are saying and all of this Vortigern, maybe that's how we've been seen. Maybe even we know that Vortigern's here in the Hells. Maybe Titivolus is already corrupted by Vortigern. That's why he killed this Bader.
Yes.
Well,
We don't know what's happening, but now we know that Vortigern can be in anyone.
it could be even in
We
the
don't
people
know
we love.
who has it or who doesn't. We don't know how to detect it.
No, but
We have a person infected with Vortigens right here in a tube. So sorry, laddie. And we could poke him with some Equilibrium.
I
We could
have
try.
the purified Equilibrium, and I think Rithik also has some, and maybe Eddie has. I don't know.
that's
He
true.
might
I didn't give Eddie
We
any
did
of mine,
purify
so
that.
it had to be one of you guys that gave him Equilibrium.
Part of Librium, but I have Librium.
I did want to test. I guess I wanted to test the theory. Can I like try and touch Reverie to my ring? See what happens there, if anything.
Man, that fucking clicked in my head.
And you've been a good boy, so Reverie is in its
Oh.
working state.
Oh,
So maybe it's
No.
critical now that we.
He's
Critical
done
now
it,
that what?
boys.
Maybe it'll be a few critical weeks of Reverie needs to work, and maybe we'll hold our tongue on certain things.
I've gone through all my memes. I've gone through all my JJK memes.
He's like, I got
What?
nothing left.
The rot is gone.
Mhm.
So, as you bring Reverie and the ring within a reasonable proximity, there is a attractive pull towards each other.
Now kiss.
And Reverie's Cosmium.
I think so.
Justin, I sent you a message on Facebook.
Oh,
God
Okay.
damn it, dude. I fucking nailed it.
Now, so
Whoa.
because that means that the ring that he saw in Glacia's finger most likely is a Cosmium ring. This ring that Tony has most likely is an Equilibrium ring. So then does that mean that there possibly is a third ring, an Azathothean, whatever, ring? And who would have access to that? Would that be Asmo? I don't know.
Do you think there's a ring to rule them all?
I think Virgil was onto something with the Azathotheum attracted to corrupted Equilibrium. Because we know Equilibrium is supposed to be some sort of container that deals with time, correct?
Mhm.
Yep.
So the corruption in the Equilibrium, the black, whatever it is we're seeing, could be the Vortigern. They're sealing in it to bring it through time. And it's attracted to Azathotheum because Azathoth is the dreamer. That is the dreamer's name.
What? So the Azathoth system was the dreamer speaking to us? God damn.
No, speaking
That I
of you,
don't
Virgil,
know,
you were the one
but-
who decided to cast Sending on the Azathoth
Well,
system.
no, it was a system
I
that
don't think I didn't
we
forget
talked
that.
to before you got here, Rithik.
I've been holding on to that.
I remember that.
used-
We get out of Sylvanas, and the first thing you do is to message the Azathoth system and says, "I found you," and then all this.
Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, Tony, okay. You died going by yourself,
When the
alright?
Azathoth system would send people back to Origin, what happened? Who? What happened to the King of Sylvanas?
I think he's dead. No, he might have gotten infected and then sent back to Talisha. I don't know, but this has got. So
Who
we
sent-
now
who sent the
know
king
the
back?
name of the dreamer.
Who sent it?
The
What?
Azathoth.
Yeah,
Why do you get?
Azathoth.
Oh,
I'm just bringing everything up, but interesting. Okay, so he actually does have a name. Azathoth. We knew who the dreamer was this entire time.
From the first moment we. So did we tell him to come here?
I don't know. Did we
Oh, and now the
message?
question is: in every iteration, did
It's
you
a canon
guys
event.
deal with? Did you guys deal with the Azathoth system,
I think we
in
did.
which you just told Azathoth itself everything it needed to know on how to deal with stuff in every iteration?
I think we did.
I think it's a canon event.
I think it's a canon event. I legit think we told it everything. But I
We-
thought it because don't bring me the we all trusted the Azathoth system, all right?
I
Like,
totally
wait a
did
minute.
not trust anything in that entire thing.
And the Azathoth system was like, wasn't that where we met Gwen as well?
No,
met her in
yeah,
Sylvanas.
that's where we met her.
No.
Yeah, that was
Right?
where we
We
met
met her in
Because
Sylvanas.
That would make sense if.
Yeah,
the
but she
Azathoth system-
needed to go to the Azathoth system to get the shield that had the essence of
I did.
Asmodeus's brother.
I needed that.
Oh, you.
But that would make sense if the Dreamer is like this thing that's through all iterations and whatever, and the Azathoth system is that.
We
That
told the
it's great.
Azathoth
It
system
would be the connection
everything.
between all of the different worlds.
And if past life Rithik remembers correctly, you guys told Asmo about the Azathoth system, and he went there and then kicked you out. Probably he was searching for the Dreamer.
Who told Asmo all this?
When you guys went back in time, you guys told him
We
about
told
something,
him
and
about
then
the
you
Azathoth
went.
system.
The next time you went to the Azathoth system or
He
origin,
kicked
he
us
was
out.
there and booted you guys out.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
You
said,
know who
I
also was
finally
there?
found you, or whatever the hell it was.
You
Are
know
you-
who also was
are you
in the
talking about
Azathoth
that's
system?
when Rolk or whatever like teleported us to the past? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was like right when I started in the campaign. It was when Virgil threw the coin at that guy.
No, that was
vision.
Lunatari. Well, but we found Lunatari in the Azathoth system. Khonsu revived her.
I wasn't there
what
for
if
that, but no,
Azathoth-
because you guys went back and told Asmo, Talisha and Asmo everything.
Oh, okay. That was that was
no, that
Virgil.
was
Then we came back to normal
in
time.
time, and then he
went to
kicked us out.
Origin, and then he was there.
kicked
He's like,
us
"Oh, this
out.
is where you guys are hiding, or whatever the fuck he said."
Yep, he
Kicked
found
you
her.
out because he was probably searching for the Dreamer, and that's where he found it
I thought that
in
was.
the Azathoth system.
I thought that teleportation was because he needed It was like the Rolk or something connection, and that's how we went back in
I don't
time.
think Roke was around for that one.
Rolk
Someone
wasn't
went-
around for
Yeah,
that
you guys
one.
went back in time.
That was still
Yeah, that was Lunatari sending us back, but Lunatari came from the Azathoth system. So what if she was already corrupted? That was a canon event. The Vortigern, Azathoth wanted us to go back in time to let Asmo know where it was, maybe?
That's possible.
Hold on. Let me
Whose
just
idea
see
was
some
it to go
notes.
back in time?
If Khonsu never released Lunatari, this never
Just
would have
know,
happened.
Tony going
Just
off by
know.
himself and dying trying to save his mom pales in comparison to everything else that is going on here.
Oh,
So if that's
we
the thing that
met
you hold
this
against Tony,
At like session 5.
Okay, then who's the crawling chaos?
Isn't it the
You know we
Vortigern?
know them. You know we know them.
Isn't it Vortigern the Crawling Chaos? Because it's the
No.
predecessor of the Dream?
I mean, the Crawling Chaos has a name.
But that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it be Vortigern? That's the...
No, it's near left.
oh,
right.
you know the name of.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
the name?
It's all just coming back to me.
Oh my god.
Surprisingly, it's just fucking
Rithik, your nose
Rithik,
is bleeding.
any-
inspiration.
Rithik, anything else you want to share with the class? This is all pretty.
Rithik, your nose is bleeding a little bit. Kind of clean it up.
Hello. All right.
Cosmic, curiosities. Can you explain?
Yeah, it's all just coming back to me wildly.
Holy crap, what a mind
Okay, so we know their
blown.
names now.
See, I knew those notes. I was like, when I was hearing the notes as John was reading, I'm like, this is interesting. This is starting to click for me. God damn. I just didn't think that Azathoth was the name of Dream.
So how do we stop that?
Yeah, that's the next thing. How do we stop
It knows
Azathoth?
everything. Well, it knows everything we knew from a certain point, but after we stopped talking to it, because we haven't talked to the Azathoth system in a while.
Yeah,
And you
send
know
him a
what it's
message.
time for, Virgil?
Shut up.
Wild card.
Actually, though,
It's time to pull a
Wait,
wild
though.
card.
hang on. It knows what we tell it.
But I will say, when I sent the message last time, I remember, and I quote, it said, "Ah, so that's where you are." I don't
So
think we
maybe-
want it to know where we are.
Why can't we
Right,
just
'cause
feed
it
it
can see into all the
misinformation?
worlds. It can see
'Cause
into
it's-
all the worlds, and maybe it can only find us if it's like looking for us, and you sent it a message, which is like a ping.
Yeah. It literally just pinged and said, "Ah, so that," and it said, "Is that so? That's where you are." So it was maybe looking for us
But
throughout.
why is it looking for us?
Because I think we're the catalyst for it. Like, if we get infected, it wins.
We're the ones that
Remember-
keep coming back, right?
Remember, this is our last iteration. I never understood why, but maybe this is the one that got away from it. This iteration of us did something that it couldn't completely fully grasp us,
We're in the 1 out of 1 billion worlds.
that it just said, "Oh, I didn't get this one in my hands, but as a collector, I must have it."
So what's Glacia's purpose for us?
That's the question. What does Glacia play in it? Was she a part of the plan from the beginning to come here and help collect this last world? Or does she have her own plans of creating her own world by the Azathoth giving her one of the billions of worlds that it owns?
It could be one of those things where it's like she's working for Azathoth and saying, "I want to have this after everything goes down," you know?
Exactly. Like, it's
Possible.
essentially a trade where it's like she gives it this world, and she gets to pick whatever world of the billions of ones he has, and he just says, "All right, you can have the trashiest one. I don't like this one." Like you know, in Toy Story, you're like, "I don't play with toys," and he just lets it go and gives it to her. Like, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if Glacia's working with Azathoth anymore.
Oh, she went rogue.
And I'm
But she must
wondering
have
if
done a deal with her.
I'm wondering if the thing that's different about this iteration is you guys went back in time, brought her with you, and let her change this world completely.
No, that can't be it.
No, that
Did
doesn't
she
sound right.
did she turn the world as you know it into her own personal playhouse of hell in every iteration? Or is this
I
the
don't
only
know.
time where you guys brought her personally back in time to give her the power to do that?
And
Kansu and
maybe-
Tony would know. They talked to They Who Remain, and they talked about all the iterations that we went through. Did they
They
ever
Who
mention
Remain?
something about that? Yeah,
Oh,
They
wait.
Who Remain.
Sorry, I
They
thought you
Who
were making.
Remain was the
I thought
guy
you were
that-
making a Kang the Conqueror reference because that's what his name is. His He Who
I'm
Remains.
talking about
So I
the
was
guy,
like,
They Who Remain.
I was like, wait, I was talking
that
to
was
Kang.
at the lake.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, you're right. This is the last iteration, is what
But did he talk about Glacia changing
he
in
said.
the other iteration?
There was no record of Glacia. That was the weird thing.
Okay, so Rithik's right.
So this could be the difference in this iteration, and this is why now that Glacia's had her way with the world as we know it, maybe that's affecting how Azathoth is communicating with this world and gaining information because it can't see into Glacia's version of this world.
She doesn't need him anymore. She was working with him to get what she wanted.
Is she
We took her back in time and gave her what she wanted. She doesn't need to work
We
with him.
gave exactly before she made the deal. She was in the past, and she got to our timeline from the past.
Are we in
So
Enna's
she
dream?
never had to talk
Is
this
to
Enna's dream?
Azathoth.
I'm wondering
I need
if
to wake up to
her
this Enna.
goal now is to create a world that is untouchable by Azathoth.
And that
And
might
this is
actually be
this is
protecting
what
us.
now is what she's gotten out of it.
And it might actually be what saved us.
I mean, it explains what I saw, what Gwyn showed us with the like the battle over the souls, right? Where we said Glacia was picking these like light.
So how did Vortigern get
Are we
in here
on
though?
Glacia's side again?
Let's
No.
just crack a coin. Let's just crack a coin and talk
I don't
to
know.
him.
She said a lot of really nice things to Tony, and she really understood
but
him and hit deep.
We don't like. Yeah, she
got
might
deep
be the
cuts.
she might be the better
she
of two
understood me.
evils, but I
She's
think
not working with us.
I don't think she's working. But at the same time, I think they're still struggling to see who's going to lead because the crawling darkness and the dreamer still haven't given up. Like they're still invading this world through Vortigern, right?
So
From
it
what I
means
understand.
that
Yeah, if they have an enemy in her, that helps us regardless.
that means they've infiltrated this area, which means
So
that
right now
maybe
we're essentially in a triangle. Her against him against her, and us against both. It's a triangle,
What if
right?
we're just like theorizing everything completely wrong, and Justin's like, yeah, keep going.
Keep going, you
You're
idiot.
on the right path.
Dance,
Yeah, for
monkeys, dance.
I'll write this down as a better ending.
There's a lot that's been said. You guys are definitely making a lot of breakthroughs here. You guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
definitely assembling the pieces.
Everything is
No,
starting.
you guys are doing excellent.
Bro!
The thing is
like I
this,
said,
If Mephistopheles has Vortigern, that would be the dreamer's person on the inside of whatever this world Glacia's made is.
And if Mephistopheles was the 8th ruler, he could have infected other devils.
Well,
like
and from
Sibylla.
from what the notes sounded like, because it started at the 8th, and then they started talking about Mephistopheles in the 9th. So I'm wondering if he was infected, somehow figured out a way to get Asmo out of the picture, which is where Asmo is now. He took over. He torched Dis, because Dispater is a known
Recluse.
he's a known Asmodeus loyalist, and he's the one who's always been here watching everything. He knows everything. So if Mephistopheles torches Dis, hopefully to get rid of Dispater, and then also infects his second in command, gets what he wants there. Now Mephistopheles might be running the show down here for the Dreamer. So
And now, I'll ask this.
how did I go from hating
What if-
Glacia to now actually kind of saying like,
What
Maybe
if
it's about the
Dispater?
guy who's watching everything.
What if
that'll
Dispater's
be
also
why
not dead?
Dispater's
What if
plan was
Dispater's
for us
just
to
dead?
get Asmodeus back, because if Asmodeus comes back, he might be able to get rid of Mephistopheles.
Yeah, but I also have to say, what if Dispater's not dead and he just got infected? Like,
Well,
Tentivolus found a moment to infect him, and
let's-
now he's just going through the process.
Let's put it this way. Dispater was not in the tower when we were there at the end. In that chair, there was nothing there.
So he
Except
could-
possibly a corpse.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's in the, the caterpillar turning into a butterfly
I
moment.
don't think that's how Vortigern works.
I have no idea.
Didn't Tony have Vortigern? Did he chrysalis into caterpillar?
Well, but he didn't go through the whole. Like, he had a year to live, essentially,
6
from
months?
what we understood.
It was 6 months.
And then, right when it was, his time, it got taken out and given to Gwen.
When we were in Dispater's chambers at the end, in that chair there was nothing fiendish, celestial, or undead.
Oh, so he was dead.
It was just for all we know, it could have just been a pair of hooves.
So maybe they couldn't infect. I don't know.
Dispater, as he said, is kind of above the
He was an
terms of
idea.
devil. He's always been here, and he always will be here. So he may be above Vortigern, and the only way to get rid of him is to actually get rid of him.
Makes sense. And like you said, he's one of Asmo's followers. Just like Asmo might not be able to be infected, they had to get rid of him.
And Titivolus has always kind of bounced between Asmodeus and Glacia.
So what about
Now the question is,
what about the other guy?
does Titivolus want
his
us
name?
to use the gauntlet? Because he took
Chunky
the gauntlet.
Stew? Is that what the guy's name is?
Yep.
He replaced Glacia.
So
I don't know where he stands now.
do you think he's above? Chunky Stew's above?
Or no, no, he's definitely not Despater level of above everything. It's just whether or not he was
Say that
involved
name.
or
Stew was an
not.
idea.
Chunky Stew, from what I've heard, is he's a kind of an outlier as far as Archdevils go, because was just a fat tabaxi at one point, and then all of a sudden he got the 6th level of hell. So
Is he someone we can
So
trust?
Fat Tabaxi just got to own the 6th level of hell?
Yeah, the first
No,
thing he did is removed Mondays. Doesn't like them.
there was some deals made, and then somehow it all came down to part of Glacia's plan to be rid of her position in the Hells by passing it off to him. That's when she split from being a devil and kind of just became an entity in the universe.
Okay.
Okay,
That's a
my
lot.
head
So
hurts.
Chunky Stew, as far as where he stands now,
Who knows?
only he knows. We'll have to find him and hope to God he's...
I mean, you
Oh,
lost me at Fat Tabaxi. I don't think he's gonna be that helpful.
You'd be surprised.
I guess
Stories
I
I've
would.
heard.
Random
I would
question.
be-
Do we have Tabaxi
Wasn't
in
even that
Ancelon?
big, it was that big.
Do we?
Smashed into it.
We do have Tabaxi in Ancelon, right?
You have. They're not called tabaxi technically, but you do have a cat variant humanoid with.
Okay, because I
The
wouldn't know.
name is escaping me,
Yeah.
but Nikos. We'll call him Nikos for now. Sure, why not?
Okay, because
Nekos.
Tony would be like, I don't know what a Tabaxi is. What's a Tabaxi?
Cat person.
Oh, like Nikos.
Sure for now.
Sure.
Something
Whatever you
so-
call him.
So to confirm, we're saying
Yeah.
Equilibrium is what we need to fight the Dreamer?
Purified Equilibrium.
Purified Libram. Because the
Corrupted
The
doesn't.
corrupted is what's
Equilibrium.
bringing Vortigern into this world.
it is the theory
That's the theory that we have.
that we've just come up with now, standing here.
Yeah.
I like to think that no one's been talking this whole time. It's all been in our minds.
Literally, it's all mental. It's all mental. We're
Is-
all
is-
literally mental.
And all of us are just like,
Is Takari
We're
part of
all
this, or is she
eyes
just
wide
watching us
open.
like?
We're all like, what?
I
Fuck.
believe Virgil included Takari in this.
Yeah, I included.
Okay, it would just
I-
been awkward if we're all
I-
just like looking at
I
each other,
included
just like
Takari.
nodding our head.
No, I
would-
With stuff leaking out our ears. I'm sure fucking speaking about everything.
I
They
guess
start
on,
bleeding. I start bleeding. We all start
on
bleeding.
my
through the
end,
nose.
I think things would start connecting a little bit too, with all this kind of information. I'll say we met Lunatari in the Azdathal system, and you know, it was there where he first started warning me, I guess, of Equilibrium. And if Lunatari was with the Dreamer, then it would make sense that he would be so reluctant to have averse to it. There you go, that's the word. And then there were those visions I saw when we were in Sylvanost, where I remember Lunatari saying things like submit, and I mean, it's submit to the darkness, and
Wait, Lunatari said that?
matches. This was,
Yep.
yeah.
When we fought in her dreamlike state, she said, "Submit to the dark."
Okay,
So
the
I
And
would
it was
say
like illusion.
the
of the
Azathoth system
townspeople.
is the name of the place we were at where the king disappeared, right? Where we like kicked him out. Was
Yes.
it- Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the Azathoth system had Astaroth's essence in it that I had to retrieve for Astaroth to get his essence, which he then used to bring Glacia into this world.
No, he also needed us to open the door. Remember that
Yeah.
we had to find
But it's
a
like
piece of
multiple things. It
Equilibrium.
seems like he needed to get Glacia in here, Glacia. But it's like that seems odd, right? Because the Azathoth system seems like it was keeping this from Astaroth, but why? If they were working together, and
Well,
so
if Glacia had already split from her deal with Azathoth and was trying to do her own thing. The Azathoth system was keeping her out of this world so she couldn't do her thing. Giving Astaroth back his essence allowed him to allow her to come here, and now we're here in her little dream world.
I still want to know what Gwen's deal was to act as the.
Well, remember, she said she needed to get to Astaroth because he was her way to get back to her world. I don't remember. It was
She never
something with her
mentioned.
dad. Yeah, she said something with her dad.
So is
Justin,
that
do
why
I know
Locke's
anything
here?
about Astaroth? Would I know anything specific?
This is a tough one. This would require a decent history or a religion check because Astaroth's
Wow.
identity is very hidden. He's called the Hidden Lord for a reason.
Wow, boys.
Well, he revealed himself like all the time to us for some reason.
Yeah, because he didn't give a fuck.
So that is a 22.
22.
A history. That makes a difference.
Alden himself would know a heck of a lot, but the information he would have deigned upon you that maybe this would have been a while ago at this point that he may have deemed to be useful information is that Astaroth and Glacia, there was always a similarity between them. In some ways, his personality and hers were much more similar than Asmodeus and Glacius.
He was the real dad.
Besides that, it wouldn't have come up a whole lot.
Okay.
So the last two things I guess I would ask everyone would be like, since we're putting all this together, what was I just gonna say? Oh, what was the role of the Talesians, and I guess specifically the roving flight and the Beatorius in all this?
Maybe it was because remember they sent people to other worlds. Maybe they were what was sending him through the Stella Volara to other worlds. The crawling darkness was following them.
So you think
maybe they were the
Zexus? You think Zexus and Clank and what are the other ones?
No, I'm saying I think there were sleeper agents. Like Vortigern changes people.
But we fought with Zexus and.
Yeah,
what was your character's name again, Seamus?
Zexus.
Licorice.
Oh,
Licorice
was Nyx. Oh, okay, Nyx. Yeah. So you think that they would sacrifice themselves to fight against Amon?
Well, they probably didn't know what.
They didn't know what was happening. That's what I'm saying.
They thought they were building something to save their people. Meanwhile,
and they were just tricked.
Well, meanwhile, the Crawling Chaos was using these people who could traverse the universe to just spread Vortigern around.
Yep.
With corrupted Equilibrium, people who just have it. The
they don't even know.
Most of the Talesians probably didn't even realize it was happening.
I'm guessing that
until the Crawling Chaos was devouring their world.
I'm guessing Takesis Paladine found out, and that's why they started this program in the first place.
The revolt.
The Einharjar program.
They did create something like that, yeah. I'm trying to refrain from talking because you guys are saying very much correct things. So you guys can keep figuring it out. You guys are good.
But then we also know that like for example, in Eddie's world, he never had the homunculus project. And I think, Rithik, you never had the homunculus project in your world either.
No, but that could just mean the Talesians never managed to get to that world before they lost theirs.
Now, something that always confused me too is, Lucky Louie. From the first floor, he mentioned that the Stella Volari dropped him off here. right? So it's like, is there a
Patient
connection
Zero?
here? Like,
Maybe he was Patient Zero?
No, I mean, Glacia might just used the Stella Valaria when she left the past to come. Because from Mercury, she stayed in the past when you guys went, didn't
Yeah,
she?
she got on the Stella Valaria with
Yeah,
everybody
so she
else.
just brought it, and now it's here in her new world that she somehow managed to create in the time between.
but Paladine is still around.
Is he?
I don't know. I've lost
He
connection.
spoke to us. Well,
Was
spoke
was
to
it
me.
was it Paladine?
It was. He said he was on his way to hold on. Even told us that we had to
But that's what I'm
find
thinking
a
Rick is
ring.
saying. But that's what I think Rick is saying. Do we know if that was Paladine or was that infected Paladine?
And also, it seems a lot of the gods in this world were Talesians. And then they ascended to some sort of godhood, and then that traversed the universes for some of them. Like, I never had a Paladine in my world, but Asmodeus was there.
Did you have a Bahamut?
Kind of.
There has to be something more than just Glacia that makes this iteration different.
Well, it's what Glacia has done.
Has done?
Because if, what you said, Astaroth needed his essence to allow Glacia to travel here because of the Azathoth system, that would make sense then that she was the one key that couldn't be here for Azathoth's plan to work. You guys gave Astaroth the power he needed, then gave Glacia the power she needed, and now we've created the iteration that is different from all the others.
So now my point being is, we do know now that Glacia is fighting the Dreamer. For her own selfish reasons, but she is fighting him. She isn't lying to us when she says she wants us to win this game
That's
for
something
her.
Yeah, she wants us to help her win.
Exactly.
She doesn't want us
for
to
her
win.
selfish, for her selfish reasons.
But
I'm not saying evil, but I mean she is fighting him.
The same will be said for Asmodeus. Is he will want us to help him win.
Yeah, but we've already helped Asmodeus in the past, and we failed in like half of the iterations we fought with Asmodeus, and we lost.
But in all those iterations,
what if in
the same
this iteration
as it is now?
What if in this iteration we could get Asmo, Glacia, and Alden just work together?
I mean, two of those three will probably work together fine. Don't know about the third one.
But that's my point.
That'll be kind of a heat of the moment thing.
I suspect that it would be easier to get all of us to get along before them. Would be my guess.
Okay, hold on. Let's not
Are
talk
you,
crazy here.
Are you sure about that?
It could be harder, actually.
Let's
Eddie,
take it easy.
Virgil, hug. That might be the canon event we're looking for. If they hug, then crawling dark chaos is like, nah! Eddie and Virgil.
It's like I'm getting Exodian.
That's impossible. Virgil is hugging Eddie.
I disconnect Tony from the call.
See, there you go. It's never gonna happen. I will just say, we've never ever in any of the iterations worked with Glacia. But we have worked with Asmodeus.
Oh, come on. There's gotta be a few.
That's what we asked, right? And that's what They Who Remain
say that.
confirmed.
Said what? What did it say?
It never knew about what happened to Glacia in any of the iterations. It's an unknown.
Like her.
I don't either.
I don't want to work with her.
But I also don't want the entire world to get destroyed and consumed by the crawling chaos. Would it be that bad? We'll all be one hive mind. We'll actually be happy.
The thing is, we don't necessarily have to work with her, just not against her.
But eventually, we'll have to
She
clash.
definitely. Remember, Paladine told us to play her game and to
Again.
basically earn her trust.
To Ritzik's
Again,
point,
was it Paladine or was it just
Paladine
a
or was
voice
it
that sounded
Vortigern
like him saying,
Paladine?
"Yeah, play with this girl"?
It came from this ring, the purified Alibrium that we say is the key.
Okay, but again, do we know if it was Vortigern Paladine or Paladine? We already know.
Well, if it's coming
people
from
are
the ring, it should be
affected.
purified.
Doesn't Glacia also have a ring though?
That's what I'm
that's what
saying.
I'm saying.
It doesn't mean.
Probably
I-
no.
It's
She
like
could
the
just,
I
remote,
she
feel
could
like
just be
these-
whispering. She could just be on the other end whispering into her ring with a voice box.
I don't know. I feel like these rings are a key. Like I feel like
I mean, they
they're
obviously are
essential to
because they're
something.
pure. It allows
So,
you to
They allow
purify
us
the
to purify
Librium.
Librium.
What do you think about the riddle thing that we had in the Sylvanesti Tower before we went into that Thought system?
What
I
was the
have
riddle
it
again?
here. I have it here.
Yeah, bro.
Second.
Especially
Maybe
the
we
second
can.
part.
Maybe we can actually solve it finally.
Yeah. I was like, especially the second part is pretty interesting. Are you gonna read it out, Wilbert?
I can read it, but I don't know if this has any. Okay, there's two. There was two. There
Yeah,
was this one, which
exactly.
was upon the wall, a tapestry old whispers secrets, tales untold. 5 dragons dance celestial flight, their forms entwined in mystic light. In Talesian script, their tales unfold, of stars and ships, a history bold. Seek out the
Right.
clues that patterns weave, find the key you must believe. When shadows wane and moonlight gleams, unlock the truth within your dreams. Stand where stars and serpent meet, and secrets hide, you'll
Hidden secrets, hidden. You'll complete.
and secrets hidden, you'll complete.
Tell you.
And then there's
I think the keys are the ring, and I think we need her ring, and I think we can find the answer of what we need.
But
you need to
here's
tell us alarm.
the good part. Here's the good part.
And then there's a separate one, and in the realm where dream converge, guardian of the stars and nights urge, seeker of truths, both old and new, bearer of keys to secrets, esoteric and true. Upon this path you tread with care, for the veils of reality are thin as air. Through the gates of slumber you must pass, to find the guardian in the astral's glass. Whisper not the words of day, in the realm where shadows hold sway. For only in dreams the key shall gleam, to awaken the one who guards.
We gotta go into our dreams, boys.
But didn't we do that with the spell that Consu did to go to the past? Or I don't know.
Oh, so
we might have
maybe
started, or
maybe that's what going to the past started.
Well,
Maybe it's all
the first part of
prophecy.
the riddle about the 5
We're the
dragons
chosen ones.
We can
sounds like it's talking about Tiamat.
Sounds like them converging to make Tiamat.
and then
That's why
there is a ship of stars.
That's why
no,
Talesian script. In Talesian script, their tales unfold of stars and ships, a history bold.
The Stella Valari.
What else? So
Okay.
that's the history of it all. That's how it all started. Was they came on the Stella Valari from Felicia.
Aye.
Seek out, and it says, seek out the clues that patterns weave. To find the key, you must believe.
Right. And then
Believe
at
in
the
Paladine.
on the other one, it says where
The
it
ring.
converges.
I knew it.
Where's the converging?
Well,
Yes.
then it talks about the Guardian too,
Yeah.
and we go.
Yeah, so it says when the
Guardian.
shadows wane. Well, this is the last paragraph of the first one. When the shadows wane and moonlight gleams, unlock the truth within your dreams. Stand where star and serpent meet, and secrets hidden you'll complete.
I know, right?
And
That
then-
part, like, I don't know why I read it the other way.
And then what you were asking for, Gelroy, in the realm where dreams converge, guardian of the stars and nights urge, seekers of truth, both old and new, bearers of keys to secrets esoteric and true. So the guardian of the stars and nights urge. What's that?
Galroy and I saw a Guardian in the stars when we tried to leave this back on the first floor of the casino. We tried to leave. We went outside the
The bounds.
veil, whatever you want to call it, and there was a guardian fighting off incoming. I don't even know what it was,
Crawling
but it
chaos
was
stuff.
massive and in the stars.
It's Paladin.
And we need to go to sleep in the stars.
Well, and then it's talking of the serpent and all of everything converging.
Well, it said, yeah, so in the realms where dreams converge, guardian of the stars and night's urge, seekers of truth, both old and new, bearers of keys to secrets esoteric and true. Are we the seekers of truth and bearer of keys?
I would imagine so.
Guess so, because the ring we're saying is a key, and we know where
Upon
two
this
of them
path, upon this
Paladin's-
path you tread with care, for the veils of reality are as thin as air. Through the gates of slumber, which I think is now hell, right? You must pass to find the guardian in the astral glass. What's the
Like,
gates
I
of
think
slumber?
the astral plane.
Yeah.
are. Yeah, that's
Like,
remember where
guardian
the
of
our
the
drag. Where
astral
that's
plane,
where
right?
you saw Nuri
That's
either
right.
fighting to go into the palace or out of the palace. We don't know because
Right.
you failed the perception.
And we need
She
to
was fighting those weird tentacle things.
get to the
Has a day
astral
passed?
plane.
Has a day
As
passed?
the day passed, if Virgil was to look up, he would see that the sun has remained stationary.
Can I
Onto-
try casting my fire breath?
You can try. You will not succeed.
The day
Yes, I'll
hasn't
say it.
passed.
The day hasn't passed yet, boys. At least from what I know of.
I mean,
So
I don't
charging.
think it's been a couple
Is
of
that our
hours.
new pluck?
Well, I wanted to see if I can connect with the astral plane.
I think that might be where we need to go next after this is to the astral plane. Our dragons might be there, and we need to find this guardian.
Well,
to
we
find
know
the
that
guardian of the
Glacia
astral-
has Hang.
Can't find.
Right.
And then the final paragraph of that, after to find the guardian in the astral glass, whisper not the words of day in the realm where shadows hold sway. For
Can't
only
talk
in
about
dreams,
anything.
for only in dreams the key shall gleam to awaken the one who guards the dream.
So we can't speak his name when
Who
we're in
guards
the
the
astral
dream?
plane?
Maybe. Yeah, who guards the dream?
I have no idea.
Is that the guardian? Is that what they're talking about? Or is that someone else now?
Or is like the dream by the dreamer? I don't know.
This was
Yeah,
supposed
wait,
to be
hang
an
on. The one who
easy
guards
in and
the
out,
dream,
boys.
Is that the dreamer? No. The one that guards the dream can't be the dreamer. It has to be someone who's keeping
No.
the dreamer dreaming.
Yep. So there
Right.
is there's a third
There's
power
another
then.
one.
There's
There's a
another one that's
dream
keeping
keeper.
him at bay.
Is,
Well,
that,
no,
is,
dreamer
is
dream.
Asmodeus the dream keeper?
No,
Well,
he's the
it's-
law
but-
he's the law bringer, lawmaker, whatever.
Is the guardian of the dream someone who's protecting the dream, or someone who's guarding it, like keeping it locked away from everybody else?
I think he's keeping him asleep.
I think so.
Well, what about
Like, are we
I think
talking
that's what the
prison
guard-
prison guard or bodyguard?
I think prison guard.
Or if this darkness, this sleeping Azathoth, if this dream, if we are in the dream now, if what happens when you wake up from a dream?
Dream ends.
It's gone.
in a stream?
So we're saying our
Everything
world
with it.
so we're saying our world is based off of the dreamer staying asleep. If he wakes up, it
Well,
all
the-
disappears.
The dreamer's awake. It's the crawling chaos that sleeps.
I want to know, guys, why does life slumber? No.
But I'm wondering if the dream they're talking about is this world Glacia's created. Her dream.
Could be. The thing is,
Could be.
all I know for certain is that we need to find the eternity threshold.
You say
The
that like
what?
it means something.
I
You guys
have
know
no idea
that's.
what
I
that is.
told you guys this.
No, you didn't.
You say
How-
all kinds of shit. I listened to like a third of it.
Exactly.
Eternity Threshold was my favorite metal band in high school.
You literally were
Paladin.
talking about me and Eddie hugging.
It
Remember,
sounds like something about Transformers.
Paladin told us that we needed to.
Alleged Paladin.
Oh wait, maybe they never heard that. Maybe I don't know if Riddick and Gilroy never heard it, but it is Paladin. I have faith it was him, and he said that we need to get to the eternity threshold where the crawling chaos is waiting, and that we needed the key. That this was one of them, and Glacia has the other one.
But how many are there?
Is the
3?
eternity
I believe
threshold
there's
where
3.
Star and Serpent meet?
Might be.
So if there's 3 keys, we know where 2 are. Where would the third one?
Try not to.
And does it
I'm not
look
trying
like
to
the
untable
ring?
this.
The Guardian.
I don't know. I don't know if I
The
can
Dreamer
untable
might
this.
have the third one.
Dreamer might have it. The Guardian might have it.
It says for only
Astral
in
Guardian.
dreams, the key shall gleam.
I guess I have to ask. Justin this.
That might be in the astral plane. It might be the Guardian is guarding one of the keys. That might be what
So
they're
we have to
guarding.
go to the astral plane to get the last. So
Yes,
we're here to get Glacia's key essentially.
basically.
And then from here, we have to go to the astral plane. That's our end game goal. That's where everything is going to happen.
Well, no, not necessarily.
No?
We have
Just
to go
wanna
to the
ask you a
astral plane
question.
to get the key, but the eternity
It could be-
paradox,
It
the
could be
eternity
somewhere
paradox,
else.
Eternity threshold.
That's it. Could be somewhere else.
Somewhere
but
else.
that-
Okay. So
yeah.
those are just points to get something, and it could. Okay, I got you.
Like that's.
No, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Boy.
All right, can we take a
So-
long rest and find this guy? No, kidding.
I was gonna say, do you guys what? We won't go like in terms of like characters and like we won't progress too much. Do you guys want to keep elaborating, or do you think you guys have done enough? I'm up for.
I
whatever
think
you
we've
guys
done
want.
enough. I
I
think
think
we've
we've
got the
connected
gist
enough
of it.
dots that it like
Yeah.
makes sense. All the specifics are gonna fall into place, or questions will be answered, and like I think for the most part we have the broad strokes, at least for what we theorize.
So I was gonna say it is 10:30. This was actually a lot of progress, surprisingly.
Yeah, not a
Uh,
lot of like movement on the map, but in terms of
Yeah.
story, a lot of progress.
Like, wow, you guys
So-
just solved it, and guess what? The giant 40-foot cat is coming right at you guys.
Bro, I legit have been thinking. I was like, we're all talking in our heads, and I don't know where this cat's just coming at us.
You guys, I will say, are incredibly close with almost everything. You are missing a few more details, but that's the fun of it. You guys, it was great for me to just listen in all the details you guys have been like thinking about or unkept. So it's awesome. Good job.
I feel like for Justin, it was like a good 5-10 minutes of like solid, like, oh, they're on the track, and then someone said
And
something.
I
It's
know
like,
we went, "Whee!"
oh, not even close.
Yeah.
You were there. You were there.
Yeah, and then
No,
you
but
were
it-
that
it-
close,
it-
and then you tripped.
The stuff did add up with Vortigans or whatever,
Mhm.
kind of infecting, and Azathoth being kind of public enemy number 1.
Yeah, that's why
Um,
that name just came to me randomly.
Because Lunatari ended up going in that like marble state,
Okay.
which was like a darkened marble. So it's like Vortigans was inside the marble. Good thing I destroyed it and killed my brother, but
Hey.
things had to be done to go see Glacia and
Gotta
win.
crack some eggs.
I
So-
am very glad you hung on to that riddle because there
Uh-huh.
was definitely a double meaning to it. Because when I wrote it, it was definitely intended to be
Late
kind of
game?
like a solution for that, what you guys are
Uh-huh.
dealing with. But there was a double meaning behind it as well, and I was waiting. I was hoping someone kept it. So
Alright.
I honestly had it there, but I thought that was like, oh, the king's gone.
I was
That-
reading
that
through
riddle's
because
not
as soon
done.
as he said Athos was the enemy, and then we started talking about like
I didn't
Vortigans
expect that
spreading to
name
other
at
people.
all.
I was just thinking exactly like all the interactions that we've had since then, Lunatari, Talisha, and so it kind of makes sense that they were ignorant to what's actually going on.
Well, there you go, John.
the
You figured
hubris
it
of
out.
people who think they know everything.
We can
Unfortunately.
store Vortigern inside Pure Equilibrium.
So now the next
You
question.
can save Gwyn.
We could do
So we
this.
pro
that
Equilibrium
it?
now, guys, or are we anti Equilibrium again?
Well, that's the thing.
I was
so the thing
never
was,
anti-Equilibrium.
it's just corrupted Equilibrium.
I
So
was
the next
anti
question-
the Equilibrium they were holding.
What?
I'm
I was
okay with this.
No, you were
So,
anti.
you were-
No,
Because I wouldn't be holding this one if I was anti.
Who was the girl that was entrapped in the pure Librium that ended up stealing the
Galatea.
necklace from Virgil? Galatea.
Galatea.
That
Where's
wasn't pure. I
Galatea
think that
falling
was.
all this shit?
She was just a vessel of Tiamat.
That
one
wasn't
of her
pure
vessels of
Librium, was it?
Tiamat.
I thought it was pure Librium.
No, it wasn't pure Librium. Well,
Galatea
it
is
was pure.
the big
It was
bat.
pure purple
She's,
Librium.
Hang on, is she
she's
still
the
in there?
guardian.
Hold up. It wasn't
She's
pure.
the guardian.
It wasn't pure Librium, right?
I don't think it was pure though.
Because
No, it
Was
wasn't.
that like a
because who was the
was
one
that like a
responsible
nuke
for trapping
from
her
another
there?
world? Sending in the wait, that could be where the virus came from.
I told you I never trusted Asmodeus. He uses
Where?
corrupted
No,
Librium.
You know what's
He used
also
it to
funny?
trap
You know what's
pieces.
also funny? Gelroy and Virgil cut a piece of the Librium that was in the Azathoth system, like,
Yeah,
and
I
we
remember
brought it to our world.
I never
We
trusted
said,
that stuff.
YOLO.
Never trusted it because Gwen said
that.
not to trust it.
That was pure Librium, right? It wasn't
No,
corrupted.
that was in the
Azathoth system?
Azathoth system. I don't
It
think that
wasn't.
was pure.
It was definitely pure, right? It wasn't corrupted.
No,
right?
That was not. That was not.
That was not pure, bro. When I broke it, remember all the things that came out of it?
Didn't you start
For
giving
sure.
the Librium to the people in Melgoth?
No, I
Look
never.
Yes, you
back.
did.
Oh,
You
you
100%
did.
How much
did.
of this story you guys just wrote for Justin?
I think Virgil was just giving
Sorry,
away as we
No,
went. Like,
no.
Looking back at it all, it's like, wow, Justin just like, yeah, okay, I'll just take that. and
stole
take
the
that, and take that.
Librium.
Yeah.
I did a train.
I just had to give them the crumbs. They'll bring it to all quarters of the map for me. I don't have to do a whole lot.
Here's
Yeah.
some Claudia Librium. Write the rest of this campaign.
I did sell some of the
is
Librium to the
Yuri,
merchant.
how well your guys' just natural movements kind of went into my original idea. So
That's
this
so awkward that I actually sold the
Thinking back to it,
Librium.
how
And
does-
Justin going like, oh, nice, yes, sell it.
that was the equivalent of smallpox blanket.
I also let might I add, I also left a bunch of the Librium at the
real
church.
warm.
I don't remember if I locked it, but I did leave
At
a
the
bunch
church
of it at
of-
the church.
Of who?
Paladine.
Well,
That's so awkward.
now the only thing I'm thinking is why initially in the start of the campaign was Librium the thing, especially that we were saying maybe it was the corrupted Librium. I guess it could be the cause of the cataclysm.
Mhm.
Maybe it was
Now, I
corrupted.
I mean,
maybe it was
there is
pure.
things I'm not. This will be questions that I'll answer when we're done. Then
Yeah.
I'm not giving anything away yet.
I have questions about my own campaign now. If that was corrupted Librium or pure Librium, because I created this. stuff,
Only
and
you'll know.
I didn't know if there was two different.
It would explain a lot if it was all corrupted, Nick.
It probably, yeah.
It would explain a lot.
It's always has been.
And
There's still a couple things you guys have either not dealt with yet or thought about yet.
Yeah,
then-
I gotta figure
then the
something out.
elders,
I gotta think on
The
something.
82% of what you guys said is correct, which is incredible. So
That's pretty good overall.
that's very good. Without any prompts from me, that was like literally 45 minutes of you guys just deliberating. It was awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
We just gotta take all 5 of our brain cells and mash them together until
Get a bit
the
of friction.
until the random names we've learned throughout the campaign just fall out.
Put on the board.
We'll say it's kind of fun to now go back to like our earlier sessions and then finally
Earlier
make all the
sessions,
connections and be like,
everything I did was
now it all
wrong.
makes sense.
I have to say now, there are things I regret now. There are,
Okay, good. I have this all on stream. This is
Now-
good.
there are things I
You
regret.
did it.
See, and Justin loves doing that. Is you meet the BBG in like session
Session
2,
1.
and
literally.
they're super great, and
They
then
were-
you
as
talk
it's
to them throughout the whole
cool.
campaign, and then at the end they kill you, and it's like, oh, that was fun.
The Azathoth system was dope.
I'm
Literally
I'm still
entry-
trying to figure out
entry
whether or not
level.
I'm
I'll
trusting
grab-
Glacia or not. That's where I'm at. Right
Justin's campaigns are like the definition of too
What
good
a
to be true.
plot twist. What a goddamn plot
If things seem really good and cool, it's like don't touch it because it's gonna come back and kill you,
What a
or
plot.
all your friends.
What a
Yeah, the
plot.
thought system. See, I couldn't quite recall. I'm not sure. Was Seamus? Were you in the campaign yet when they were at with dealing with the Azathoth system, or was that when you just started? I don't.
I mean, they were
I'll tell you
talking.
right now.
I think I was there when Virgil sent the message to it,
He was there when
Yeah.
I sent him, but he wasn't there when we
and
went.
then when we went there and Asmo was there.
Yeah.